Well, so I've been in the industry since about '87. I think it's changed in various different ways. I mean, planners, they work on a lot more brands these days. They don't tend to, I think, be able to devote as much time to each brand as they used to, and so they don't tend to do so much of that big, long-term, big picture stuff, I think, and much less quantitative analysis. That's the biggest change, I would say. Is when I first joined, planners would be very happy to get immersed in, sales data, business data, all that kind of stuff, to do statistical analysis and so on. They might not be doing econometric modelling, but they would be doing that stuff. And I think increasingly planners now see that as a specialist function that's outside their remit. The other thing is, I think 27 years ago, I think that the planner's job was viewed as being to kind of restrain creativity, if you see what I mean, in the sense, not to limit it, but to ensure that creativity was focused on the business task. So it was like, describing the area within which the creative could play, if you like. And a big change that began to occur sort of in the 90s was planners began to talk a lot more about inspiring creativity. And I don't think that was the vision for planning as I understood it originally. I mean, providing focus and providing limits actually does inspire creativity, in the sense that nobody likes to work with a blank page. But I think planners now are much more likely to see themselves as being kind of almost part of the creative process, rather than being kind of the bit that kind of keeps the creative process honest. So,
I suppose my view is slightly different. I think perhaps 20 years ago I would have said there were only a few styles of planning kung fu, and these days I think there is a far richer and more diverse way that planners can ply their trade. And one of the really exciting things for me, just in terms of my journey, was to be able to come to a place like adam&eveDDB, was to be able to come to the home of planning in my eyes, and be able to see an incredibly rigorous approach to planning married to a far more nimble and open framework of planning. So I think this agency kind of typifies to me, the classic old world of planning coupled with a very, very new world of planning, which, as far as I'm concerned, is really, really exciting, because you kind of get the best of both.